Jaitley had in 2014 turned to Kelkar, the 13th Finance Commission chairman, for advice. The commission had in 2009 submitted a report recommending a single-rate GST. Its calculations had showed that there would be no loss of tax revenue from the shift to GST if it were imposed uniformly across all goods and services at the rate of 12%. In discussions with Jaitley, Kelkar endorsed a pure GST that would exempt no goods or services at all, not even real estate, liquor, and petroleum products, and would have a single rate, between 10% and 12%. This view eventually acquired the epithet "One Nation, One Tax." After the Bihar elections, on Manmohan Singh's advice, the Congress set aside its political differences with the ruling party to discuss the GST. Anand Sharma handled the back-channel talks with Jaitley, Adhia, and Subramanian. Constitution, 122nd Amendment Bill 2014, which was the bill to amend the Constitution and pave the way for the rollout of GST, became a political football between the Congress and the BJP, and finally hit the goalpost in 2016 in the monsoon session of Parliament, with the main opposition party, the Congress, finally lending its unequivocal support. The bill approved by the Lok Sabha in May 2015 had got stuck in the Rajya Sabha, where the ruling BJP did not have a majority. At the culmination of weeks of backroom parleys between the government and the Congress gave up its key demand for including a cap of 18% on the GST rate in the Constitution. The government, on the other hand, agreed to address the Congress's concerns. The Congress had been insisting on the institution of an independent mechanism for dispute resolution. The stalemate ended after no less than 7 rounds of discussions. Late in July, Jaitley and Arvind Subramanian held deliberations with the leaders of the Congress, the Left, the Trinamool Congress, the SP, and the JDU, to garner support for the passage of the bill. CPI-M General Secretary Sitaram Yechuri, former Finance Minister P. Chidambaram, who had just been elected to the Rajya Sabha, and Congress leader Anand Sharma were among those who participated in the separate rounds of discussions. The government was also in touch with AIADMK leader and Tamil Nadu Chief Minister J. Jayalalitha. The Congress initially raised 3 demands in exchange for supporting the bill. Jaitley placed these before the states, a large number of which were ruled by BJP governments. But they vetoed 2 of 3. The demand for a constitutional cap of 18% and an independent dispute resolution mechanism headed by a High Court judge. Following this, the Congress had no option but to change its stand. Until then, the Congress had been insisting that rather than be a purely executive body, the Dispute Resolution Authority should have legally trained officials and the trappings of judicial authority. In the party's assessment, the sweeping changes set to be made to the indirect taxation system were bound to throw up issues of implementation. It was inevitable that sooner or later, disputes would arise between states and that some, dissatisfied with the verdict of the Dispute Resolution Authority, might go to the High Court or the Supreme Court. And if and when states unable to resolve disputes among themselves did land up in courts, the power of judicial review would be with the High Court and the Supreme Court. It is for this reason that the Constitution Amendment Bill introduced by Pranab Mukherjee, which had lapsed with the term of the previous Lok Sabha, had suggested a dispute resolution authority chaired by a retired judge. But that provision was now rejected by the states and the centre. Chidambaram explained the Congress position on the GST rates thus: "A higher rate will be inflationary. I'm all for progressively reducing indirect taxes, which is what I did in 1997, which is what we did between 2004 and 2014. I would never support an increasing rate of an indirect tax. That is a policy approach. Indirect taxes, which are regressive, must be progressively lowered. Direct taxes, which are progressive taxes, must be gradually increased." The Congress gave up its demand for a constitutional cap of 18% in deference to the state governments, which had to ratify the Constitutional Amendment Bill passed by Parliament and which insisted